Hello, 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 hello. It is Friday, and I'm thankful that it's Friday. I went to the chiropractor, and this was my best visit, possibly because after my last visit, I didn't do much physically until today. So I feel a little bit better. But I have something in my spirit that I actually need to convey to the masses. And it is based off of a conversation I had with someone earlier in the week. I don't think that some people understand the concept of there being a spirit person within yourself. There's a physical you that presents to the world every single day, and then there's the you that comes up in your head like when you're processing things, and then there's the part of you that is deep down. It's kind of hidden. It's kind of like really quiet, doesn't make as much noise, but that's the you that actually controls your true destiny. And I say that to say that whatever that part of yourself believes is what your reality becomes. And if you believe on the deepest part of you something really not good for yourself, that will be your truth. I made a post a few days ago telling people to tell yourself a different lie, and I mean that because you cannot really conceptualize doing and achieving something beyond yourself if you don't believe it. And that's part of the problem. A lot of people believe bad things about themselves on the inside. And some of it comes from somewhere deep in the darkest crevices of your mind. You remember someone saying something about you on the negative, and them saying that thing, and that thing kind of felt like it was true and felt like it was real. And so that being the case, sorry, I'm waving to somebody. That being the case, you took that to heart. So let's just say somebody said many years ago that me and my sisters were never going to amount to anything. Oh yeah, somebody said that. Because, we were homeless and we used to have to walk outside and stuff, and we didn't have like clean clothes half the time and whatever. It's life. It happened. But when I heard people say that, I was like, they don't know what they're talking about. I am going to be something. I always believed those people were lying, that they did not know what they were talking about. What would have happened if I really believed them? My life could be totally different if I truly held that person's vision and version of a life that was waiting for me as a truth. I would not have even experienced the things that I've experienced, and gone to places I've gone, and met the people I've met, and had this amazing experience that I've had to this date, if I had thought those people were right about me. I never believed they were right. I never, for once. Now, I know some people who, when they were kids, they were told they were ugly. Such a superficial thing. And I know some people that I'm like, man, they are super gorgeous. And they're always into their looks because they really feel that they are ugly because someone said it when they were a child. And most people see this person and it's like, oh my God, that person's stunning. I wish I looked like that person. That's what they say, right? So that goes to show that what you believe, regardless of if it is the reality for everyone or not, truly impacts your life. And until you change what you believe on the core, deep down inside of you, you really aren't going to be able to change what's happening in your life, because you're working from that thing that you hold true. And whatever you hold true is always going to be true to you. And that's the important piece of, that's the key, and that's where people get so hung up on these things of praying and stuff not happening and doing all the manifestations and nothing not happening. You can't manifest or pray your way out of a truth that you hold so firmly and dear. I mean, you just can't do it. You have to start thinking differently about yourself. You have to start believing that you are capable of something different, that you deserve something different, that you can be more than what people think you can be, that you can achieve greatness. That's why I used to tell my students all the time, hey, you can do this. I used to tell my team members who worked for me, you can become more than what you are. I used to always encourage people to do more, be more, to become better, to believe something different, no matter what the circumstances are. Because with my circumstances and my background, you expect me to be on drugs or prostitute on the side of the street somewhere. And I'm not. Never have been. So you don't have to go down roads that you don't really want to go down or that aren't good for you just because there's some belief somewhere that someone put out, that someone said you were the black sheep of the family. You don't have to choose that path. You don't have to believe them. You can believe you. You can tell yourself something different that becomes your truth and believe that truth. And when you believe that truth, your life becomes amazing. See, I always believed the truth of my life. I always knew I was going to be Dr. Friesen. I always knew that. I always knew I was smart. I always knew I was a scientist. I always knew I was a mathematician. I always knew that I was a very grounded, nature-loving person. I always knew those things about myself. And no one could ever take those away from me. As I went through life, they could never change who I was. Ever. No matter what they said. And I always used to be like, you crazy, when someone would say something contrary to what I believe. I would tell them, you're crazy. And that's what you got to sometimes tell people. You're crazy. And sometimes you may have to say that in the mirror to that little voice that is trying to hold you back and hold you down. Tell that little voice, no, not today. I'm better than this. I'm more than this. All right. Those are my random thoughts for this Friday. May it help someone. And may you have a great weekend. And hopefully you get to have the scenery that I have, to where you get to look at the beautiful things in nature this weekend. It's really amazing. All right. Until next time, be well.